Hey everybody, it's Tressa. Welcome back to my channel. Well, I'm so glad you're here. This is going to be a delicious dessert, I believe. And it's a Butterfinger pie. It is got a thick buttery Oreo crust, a Butterfinger and peanut butter filling, and it's topped with chocolate ganache, and then you can just top it with more Butterfinger if you want. But I've been looking for a recipe for these Butterfinger bits, and we're going to splurge because it's a holiday weekend. And it's hot, so we don't have to bake it. So I thought I would bring you along and miss you guys. So hope you enjoy the video. And I made the crust in advance, but I'm gonna put the ingredients under the description. But my food processor is kind of like possessed. To turn it on, I had to hit the button with the knife. Then I couldn't really turn it off. Anyway, that wouldn't have made a good video. So let's get started. I have the recipe right here. It's from Carlsbad Cravings. I follow them on Instagram, and they always post some interesting recipes. So and there's not many ingredients. The crust uses 24 Oreos and 5 tablespoons of butter. I used about 6 tablespoons of butter because I wanted to make sure it was, and it's in the freezer right now. But I put my bowl in the refrigerator because we're going to whip some heavy cream first. But this is a stabilized whipped cream. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've never used gelatin. I always put a little cream cheese in my whipping cream. But what we do first is we take 1 teaspoon of gelatin, and I just have this kind of gelatin. And we're going to pour 1.5 tablespoons over it. And I'm starting kind of late. I hope that I can finish it. And give it a little stir. I think you want to make sure that it all gets moistened. And we've got to let this sit for 5 minutes, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to turn my timer on, and then in the meantime, I'm going to measure my 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Here's the crust, so you can see. And it's in a 9-inch springform pan, and this is 3 inches. Hopefully it's all going to fit in here, but this crust is pretty thick. Anyway, I made it yesterday, actually, and because this pie has to either chill in the fridge for about 5 hours, or you can put it in the freezer for 2 hours. You just leave it out about 20 minutes to cut it. So I'm probably gonna put mine in the freezer. This is what the gelatin looks like after about 3 minutes. It absorbs all the water. Gelatin, and put it in the microwave for 10 seconds, and then we're gonna set it aside. Oh, you have to give it a stir too. Okay, now I'm just gonna give it a stir. See how it turns to liquid? And I'm going to set it aside. And we're going to I put my bowl in the refrigerator, and I have 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, and it's cold. My refrigerator is pretty cold. And we're going to start whipping this with my whip attachment. You could use hand beaters for this. So we'll move to the mixer. Hang on. Here we go. The only thing we're going to put in here is the gelatin, and I'm going to put some vanilla bean paste. You need 1 teaspoon. I forgot to put the whisk. We're going to beat this until soft peaks form. Then we're going to add the gelatin. Continue mixing. I like the vanilla bean paste because it shows the little seeds in it. So I'm going to start mixing this, and I'll show you when soft peaks form. Okay, this is about soft peaks because you can see it's still not really stiff, but it's soft. So what we're going to do is just turn it on low. And my mixer's loud, I apologize. And I'm going to slowly pour in the gelatin mixture. Try to anyway without spilling everywhere. And you want to make sure this is well combined. And once it's well combined, I'm going to turn it back to high until stiff peaks form. And it doesn't take very long. And I'll show you what it looks like. This is very stiff. Hopefully it's not too stiff. But it stands up to it doesn't fall. I don't know. I'm not the best at explaining things lately. I apologize. So I'm gonna take this bowl and just pour this or actually scoop this in here. I don't know if I could see my vanilla. And you don't have to clean the bowl or anything. I'm trying to make sure I get it all out. I need a little spoon. Oh, not that spoon. That's got gelatin on it. And my cream cheese has been at room temperature. I was going to start this video a long time ago, but ended up having to go to the store and do some chores around the house and outside. Okay, so we'll move this to the side, and we're gonna take the cream cheese, which is room temperature. I love anything with cream cheese, really. Anyway, there's some things I wanted to catch up with you guys about. We've been growing a few vegetables, and I like to open it. All right. And then I'm going to take 3/4 cup of peanut butter, and I'm using Jif peanut butter. It didn't have those wrong numbers on it. But it's kind of crazy about all the food things, food plants and all that happening. All the recalls. So basically, I'm gonna just dirty 1,000 spoons today. And I cleaned it up the best I could. I'm gonna put this on the mixer, whip this up, and then I'm gonna add the 1 cup of powdered sugar. Sometimes I steer away from the no-bake desserts with the powdered sugar. I prefer ones with sugar, but with these, I thought, in the peanut butter, I've been wanting to use these. They have a recipe on the back for this, but I thought it'll be fine. It's gonna be really, really delicious. And it has a chocolate ganache too, and I'll show you the chocolate I'm gonna use. So let me put this on the mixer, and I'll be back. I should put the powdered sugar in at the same time, but and it doesn't call for vanilla extract in this layer, but I'm gonna put some of that as well because I like vanilla and everything. I think it enhances the flavor. And I lost it. Here it is. And vanilla and peanut butter go really well together. So we're gonna mix this up. Once it's mixed up, I'm gonna turn it on high for just a couple of minutes. This sort of looks like it's, oh, I just got peanut butter all over me. I've been so messy lately. Yesterday I boiled some noodles, and I like the boxes of angel hair or spaghetti pasta that when they're broken in half, and I spilled them all over the stove. We're gonna fold in the Butterfinger. I don't know why you have to fold the Butterfinger in, but that's what it says. That's gonna be so good. Oh my goodness gracious. So once that's mixed in, we're just gonna fold in our whipped cream. No Cool Whip in this recipe. I suppose you could use that, but homemade whipped cream is really, really nice. Oh, see, I just got Butterfinger all over the cabinet. I don't know. I've been really messy lately. Not on purpose. So I'm just going to fold this in. This is going to be rich. You know, you could cut this up in pieces and wrap it up and just freeze a piece at a time. And if somebody's craving a dessert, just let it sit out at room temperature for about 20 to 30 minutes. And the whipped cream's gonna lighten it up. And remember, we didn't sweeten the whipped cream. We just put vanilla in it. You definitely need a springform, 9-inch springform pan. I hope you can see it close up. It's got plenty of Butterfinger in it. See, it's light, fluffy. You want to fold it so you don't destroy your heavy whipping cream consistency. Always do it through the middle, around. Okay, that's gonna be a thick layer. That looks good to me. I have an apron on so I can wipe my hands on it. So let me go get the crust and we're gonna put it in there. Okay, we're gonna just scoop this in here. This is gonna be really, really bad, but really, really good. It's a lot of filling. You know, you could just eat the filling. I hope it all fits in this pan. I think it will. I can see why you have to let it come to room temperature a little bit before you cut it from the freezer. But for this, something, I want to try a new recipe, no bake, but I want something really, really delicious. You know, when I cook for you guys, I want something that's really, really, really nice. Really, a really good recipe. Because I want to do my best and make delicious food. That's my goal. And you guys are such a blessing to me. I just can't tell you. I'm just going to try to smooth it out. I probably should use an offset spatula. I'm always in a hurry. I go to the grocery store, I'm in a hurry. I go everywhere, and I'm always in a hurry, and I don't know why. I really don't have to be in a hurry. Well, today I'm in a hurry because it's sort of late, but I don't know. Are y'all like that? Also, I wanted to talk about, you know, about, I know people have been saying things about food shortages or whatever. Oh, I don't know exactly. I know a lot of my audience, but like, I've stocked up as much as I can because we don't have a lot of storage. And if y'all ever want to like talk about that, I'm not an expert though. I'm not going to do one of those videos where they, you know, prepare now, food shortage is coming, because I don't know that for sure. And I'll be careful with what I watch. Anyway, I guess I shouldn't be talking about that stuff. Anyway, I do have a little bit stored, as much as you can afford. And even if there's no shortages, you can try to beat inflation a little bit. All right, that, my friends, is going to be so good. My chocolate, she calls for, okay, let me put this on the freezer and I'll tell you about the ganache. Ella and I made strawberry jam yesterday. I wasn't going to make this until finally I got a good sell on some strawberries, but it did make a huge batch. I boiled it probably about 50 seconds too long. But when you do it, make sure you have like a couple of saucers in the freezer to test it. Anyway, it's delicious. And I have a video of this vanilla bean strawberry jam. It's very old on my channel, and it came out perfect. This is good. It's just a little, you can still spread it. It's a little thick, but anyway, now we're gonna make the ganache. We need 2/3 cup, which I haven't gotten yet. Now it calls for 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. I don't love semi-sweet chocolate. I usually mix it with white chocolate but semi-sweet is a people's favorite, and bittersweet, it's not mine. I'm going to do, now you could use whatever you want, but I tasted the filling and it's not cloyingly sweet. Because remember, the whipped cream had no sugar in it. So it's very light, it's silky, and it's not too sweet because the peanut butter balances it out. It's gonna be so good. I wish it wasn't so big. It's too much. I'm gonna share it though. Anyway, she said you can use chocolate chips, but she would recommend using Ghirardelli or Guittard, a good brand. This melts a lot better. And there's another ingredient that she puts in here, a little corn syrup, which keeps the chocolate pliable. It keeps it smooth and pliable after being refrigerated. And it keeps it shiny. So let me see the 2 tablespoons of corn syrup, 8 ounces of semi-sweet baking chocolate chopped, so I have to chop the chocolate, and 2/3 cup of heavy cream. So I'm gonna chop this up, measure 2/3 cup of heavy cream and 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. I'm sorry, I should have this memorized as many times as I read it, but I just want to make sure that I give the right instructions. But I put it in the freezer so it can set up faster. And she also recommends that it helps the chocolate ganache get set too. Okay, I'm gonna chop this up on my cutting board first, and then we'll go to the next step. I know some people video while they're chopping or whatever, but I don't know. I don't do that. I get enough talking in though anyway, right? Yeah, I'm gonna turn this on and put it in this little pot and heat this up. You don't want it to boil, but you want it to like bubble around the edges to simmer. I don't want it. This little burner gets really hot, so I'm gonna turn it low because I still have to chop my chocolate. The chocolate. I'm gonna use a big knife. I'm gonna use my big scraper to get it up and put it in this glass bowl. I just want to say, the smaller you chop it, the easier it melts. And I'm kind of making a mess here, but I've used my big scraper to make sure I can get the most. It's very messy. Okay, move this out of the way. Where's the corn syrup? Okay. So I'm gonna wipe my mess up. I think it's hot enough. I'm just gonna pour it over the chocolate. It kind of formed a little skin. Hope I didn't mess that up. That was a job chopping that chocolate. I'm gonna add the two tablespoons of corn syrup. I'm out of spatulas. Ella's helping me wash dishes. We have a dishwasher. I don't know why we don't use it more often. So I'm just going to let this sit for a minute. And then I'll stir it and make it smooth. A little bit of stirring, but I heard you work your way. You start in the inside and you start working your way out. Now we're going to let this cool until it's just a little bit warm before we work with it. I'm trying to make it as silky as can be. So that's what it looks like. So I will be back. Take this out of the freezer. This is just slightly warm, and I'm in a hurry, so I'm going to go ahead and pour it. And that's a lot of chocolate. And I tasted it, and it tastes really, really good. It's a good combination. This is definitely a crowd pleaser. I would think so. I'm just gonna spread it. And put it back in the freezer. And doesn't that look divine? Holy moly. Here you guys, here's some cucumbers we got. This is my favorite thing. I'm getting a lot of jalapenos. And I have some cherry tomatoes that we're growing. And some of these cucumbers got too big. They're kind of bitter if you pick them too big. Let me show you the really one. We didn't see this one. It's hard to find them. I'm sure it's bitter, but I had to show you guys that. Ella and I, we do our best. But the tomatoes, I'm freezing, and I haven't decided how I want to can them. If I want to just make crushed tomatoes, or pizza sauce, or spaghetti sauce, or mostly marinara sauce, or a salsa, or both. I don't know if I have enough for both. The recipes, the books that I look in, some of the recipes call for like 25 pounds. And so I have to work on that, but I need to get them out of my freezer because they're taking up a lot of room. But these are, if you don't take the seeds out, the jalapenos, they're hot. I need to chop all of these and put them in the freezer too. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. Okay, I just bought a regular size Butterfinger bar from the store. It says to put 3 to 4 ounces on top. This is optional too. But you know, if you want to just go all the way, just go all the way. And I don't know if it's frozen all the way, but we're kind of impatient today. Well, every day. We don't eat desserts like this very often. I'm just gonna sprinkle the whole chocolate bar on here. And I didn't get it out the prettiest way from the springform pan. You can see on the side of it. Butterfinger is messy. Let me show you what it looks like on the side. It's pretty clean. But if we let it freeze solid, then we're gonna have to let it sit out like 30 minutes. So we're ready to eat. Or I'm ready to do a taste test now. Hopefully it cuts pretty. But you know.
Sorry guys.
It is what it is. It's still gonna be delicious.
I think
I do want to get a good picture though, so I'm gonna be back in a second.
We put our knife in warm water to cut it. So
we're gonna get a picture first, Ella.
Yeah. So hopefully wherever we I just a tip, you put your knife in warm water whenever you cut it, it should.
Clean cut.
We'll see how that works.
Okay, here it is. Came out well. Now the crust has been frozen for 2 days, so that's a little tough. But not a lot of work, not a lot of ingredients, but I haven't eaten supper yet, so my craving kind of subsided a little bit. But I know it's gonna be good. My word. The inside, I was worried that the peanut butter was going to take over. That's the Instant Pot. Everything we did today was like no bake, Instant Pot, because it's so hot outside. This is silky mousse-like feeling. It's very light and fluffy. If you can see that. It's so good. And it's not overly sweet.
Give me some.
Now, I do like, Ella's going to try it. I do like the semi-sweet and the milk chocolate mixed, but that's just a personal preference. This is so good. And let me show you this. It's quite big, so you want to share it. This platter, I got thrifting. I thrift every once in a while. That's kind of a new hobby. We don't have a lot of thrifting to do around here, but every once in a while I find something really nice. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about some of the things I said, and I'm gonna list the ingredients in the description. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you try this recipe. It's so delightful. Indulge and treat yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon because I'm making another video right now. Bye.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Love you.